走れ明日へ続く進化の道は新たな伝説のデュエル
Hey there YouTube, this is Rico the Fox Kid, and I got two things going on in this video, but before I start anything, I would like to give a shout out to a friend of mine from Pojo. His account on YouTube is MentalDuck9, and there will be a link to his account in the, right here, I guess. So click on that link and you can check him out. He's a really good Lightsworn player, a great guy, so just check out his videos and I guess subscribe. So anyway, I know I'm behind on this, but the March 2011 ban list, it goes into effect today and was out 2 weeks ago. And the reason I'm behind on that is because I have been really busy recently, so I didn't have time to make a video about it. So if you want to know what my opinion on ban list is, I suggest you pause at the next frame. Okay, anyway, now that that's out of the way, this is a deck for the next format, which goes in today. It's a Debris Twilight deck, which sounds kind of odd because usually you're not supposed to mix Lightsworn variants, but this is actually pretty good. It synergizes really well. I've tested it against 6 Samurais a couple of times. It does okay. Tested against X Sabers, it does pretty good, and I'm not going to test it against Gravekeepers because frankly, that's always a bad matchup for us. There's really no point. We're always going to die to Gravekeepers. Make your side deck have it focused against the Gravekeepers because Lightsworn just hates them so much. Anyway, so the deck is pretty much, there's always normal Lightsworn cards, which is 2 Judgment Dragon. He's still a win condition. 1 Garoth, 1 Jane, 1 Lumina. She's our revival monster still. 2 Lila. Earlier, during the testing, I was actually considering running 3 Lila because with Cold Wave gone, we're going to need some more back row hate. But I was finding that running 3 Lila was actually pretty dead often, so I put her down to 2 again. 2 Raikou, similar story. I was running 3 because with Cold Wave gone and all that stuff. I was actually finding 3 to be dead. Not as much as 3 Lila was. 3 Raikou was still kind of dead. I mean, I might go back to 3 Raikou later, but right now I would say 3 would be pretty dead and stick with 2. 2 Wolf, he's got pluses off for milling. I also actually run Shire, Lightsworn Spirit in this deck because Shire only has 400 attack, so she's a target for Debris Dragon. And so she's kind of a jack of all trades. You can get her with Debris Dragon, you can get her with Solar Recharge and all that stuff. So she's a pretty good card for this deck. She's not really good at attacking though, obviously, because her effect is pretty bad. 2 Card Trooper is a staple in Lightsworns now because at 1 he was only really a tech because really he didn't really work well with anything, but things are looking really good for Card Trooper because 1, Honest is going to go down in use with him limited. Beckoning Light's going to go down in use with that limited, with Honest limited, and Card Trooper's just looking better now, especially with him at 2, and he's more of a drawing and milling engine now instead of just some tech. So run 2 Card Trooper, Glow Bulb is our Synchro engine, Necro Garden is defense, 2 Debris Dragon. Debris Dragon has a lot of targets in this deck because we run a lot of level 3 monsters. So because there's 2 Card Trooper, the Shire, and then there's Spirit Reaper, which is later in the deck, but I'll get into that later. So yeah, Debris Dragon, easy Black Rose, pretty simple. You can also go Trag, revive Raikou, or copy Raikou, then revive Raikou, Stardust, whatever. That's kind of situational though. Dark Monsters, there's 1 Dad. I'm actually finding Dad is easier to get out this format for whatever reason. I haven't been able to figure out why he's easier to get out. He just is. I don't know why, he just is. So Dad's pretty good now. Well, he was never bad, but Gores and Trag, there are defense, our comeback things, all that. Trag also does a lot of synchro things. You can actually get out Formula Synchron with Trag and Glow Bulb. So that's that for some defensive darks. Triple Chaos Sorcerer, in my opinion, this is the trump card of the deck because Chaos Sorcerer can get you out of just about anything. He's useful just about anywhere. You can get him out early game for for a big beater. You can use them to get rid of a really tough monster. You can use them to finish the game after you nuke the field with Black Rose or JD. Really, the only instance where I don't think Chaos Sorcerer is a good card is when your opponent has more than one monster with 2400 attack or more, which is very rare. It's usually if your opponent spammed Fall Troll or if they got 2 Shiens on the field, which will be pretty rare with Gateway at 1 this format. So, triple Chaos Sorcerer is really good. 2 Spirit Reaper, because Spirit Reaper stops 6 Samurais, it stops X Sabers because they run very few monster destruction cards. And Spirit Reaper is another target for Debris Dragon. So he stalls, he helps you nuke, all that stuff. Plague Spreader is another dark. I keep him just because he's a dark, because he's really not staple in Light Sworns anymore. Because surprisingly, the banning of Goyo Guardian actually lowered Plague Spreader's use, because Brionac's a good level 6, but Light Sworns, they tend to drain their hand pretty fast. Or anything you keep in your hand, you want to keep in your hand, you don't want to discard. So Brionac's good, just not as useful in Lightsworn as it would be in any other deck. And Goyo with his 2800 attack was useful whenever you needed it. And with Goyo gone, Plague Spreader's not really useful anymore. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of pure Lightsworn players dropping Plague Spreader because Goyo's gone. So I'm putting Plague Spreader in the dark section, because I would actually agree. Glow Bulb's actually better than Plague Spreader in my opinion. Alright, the last 2 darks is Blackwing Gale the Whirlwinds. Another tuner. It's really good for whatever you need. You can have a monster, you can synchro summon, all that stuff. And then this one is coming out in June in Duelist Pack Crow, so I have it proxied right now. It's Blackwing Zephyrus the Elite, which is, if it's in your graveyard, you return a face-up card, take 400 damage, and you special summon it. You can only do it once per duel, but it's a really good effect. It's good for, it works with a lot of cards in the deck. Like, you can summon Plague Spreader with Debris and then send Debris back to your hand and go to revive Zephyrus and go to level 6. There's things like that. Zephyrus works well with Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind, because that actually allows you to special summon Gale. Like, you can normal summon Gale, return it for Zephyrus, and then re-summon Gale with its effect. And Zephyrus is just, he's got a lot of potential in this deck, and the OCG and Debris Lightsworn builds are actually running Zephyrus. Also, I think like Chaos Plant builds are running Zephyrus as well. So that's Zephyrus is a kind of toolbox style card. It can do just about anything. That's all the monsters. The spell lineup's still pretty simple. It's actually kind of smaller now. There's the 1 charge, which is your simple searcher. There's the 3 recharge, which is your draw power. Allure of Darkness. There's quite a bit of dark monsters in this deck, so you can make do without 1 with Allure. Giant Trunade, which is your it's the last back row removal card we have, with Cold Wave gone and with Heavy Storm gone. Giant Trunade is the only one left, so we need it for making sure our big plays go through. Dark Hole is the mass monster removal. Monster Reborn's the generic revival. Book of Moon at 1 I find is a lot easier to fit into the deck, because at 3 you would have to make room, like 2 or 3 slots in your deck to run Book of Moon. At 1 it's a lot easier to fit it in, and Book of Moon is a really good card. It can get you out of just about any situation you need it. So run one Book of Moon. That's the spell lineup. Like I said, it's not really big. It's pretty generic. And 2 Royal Decree. I only run 2 for a few reasons. The first one is I only have 2 Royal Decree. And the second reason is because I don't really need a third one, and I don't have the room. I'm trying to keep the deck at 40 because I don't like it at anything higher, because it lowers the consistency and the chances of drawing the cards you need. Royal Decree at 2 is pretty decent. I mean, if you could fit a third one, go ahead. That's pretty much the entire deck. I guess I can go into some cards I didn't include that used to be good for Lightsworn decks, and the first one is Celestia, because with Honest at 1, it's going to be harder to defend your Lightsworns, and so even pure builds are starting to lower their Celestias. They're running 1 or 2 max. Like, they're not even considering running 3 anymore. So Celestia is lowered in use. This deck doesn't have a lot of Lightsworns on the field for more than 1 turn, so Celestia would be dead more often than not. Honest isn't in the deck because, like I said, you aren't going to have a lot of Lightsworns out for more than 1 turn, so Honest would be dead almost every time you draw them. Arcus, with Honest at 1, it's going to be so much harder to protect Arcus, and he doesn't have very good attack stats at all. And there's a card coming out in Extreme Victory called Necro Defender, if you want to look that up. It's a pretty good card. Pure builds will probably use it for replacing Necro Garnet, but Necro Defender, if I am correct, it targets, so it goes completely against Arcus, and I would really rather run Necro Defender than I would run Arcus, so keep Arcus out of the Lightsworn decks this format. He's not good anymore. I didn't include Dandelion because I felt there were a lot of better choices I could have included with Dandelion, like Gores and Trag and all that stuff, things that can defend me. Dandelion at 1 is just not as consistent anymore. You're not going to be getting fluff tokens out as much. I don't run any generic revival cards in this deck, like Beckoning Light, Pot of Avarice, or Monster Reincarnation. If you were to run any of those, I would go with Pot of Avarice first, because Monster Reincarnation, it just minuses your hand. Beckoning Light's really only good near the end game, and it's killed by Trapstone and Royal Decree, which will be big this format with only Giant Trunade left. And Pot of Avarice, not only does it get back monsters you can use, but it also is a +1 to your hand. So Pot of Avarice, if you were to run any of those, pick Pot of Avarice first before thinking about any of the other ones. And I'm not running any because my deck, or this deck, can basically do whatever you want. Even if you dump a monster, there's always something else in the deck you can use. Like if you dump JD, then just use Chaos Sorcerers or Black Rose or something. But there's always something the deck can use that whatever it dumps in the graveyard that you can't get back really isn't a big deal. And then the last card I don't run is Foolish Burial because I don't really need it. It speeds the deck up a little bit, but that's really all it does. It's not necessary. It helps, but if you can't fit it, then too bad. You don't really need it. And I'm sure you've all heard of the Exceed monsters coming out in a few months. If you haven't heard about them, I would suggest you go look them up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia. And for that, when they come out, I would probably fit in one Genis Lightsworn Mender into the deck, because Genis works with Debris. Like, you can't synchro with it, but you can go into a rank 4 Exceed with it, like Aspiring Emperor Hope, which is actually a pretty good Exceed monster. So when Exceeds come out, I'm gonna throw Genis into this deck. I don't know what I would replace with it yet, but that's the entire build. Try it out; it's pretty good. I'm still working on it, so it'll probably change eventually. And also, don't forget to check out Mental Duck 9. I'll put his link right there again. And that's all for this video, and see you.
風になれ愛踊れ闇を引き裂いてたどり着く場所